Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel Shilpa Data Insights.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, we are going to discuss one more advanced topic related to the loops. And we have already covered a lot of other topics related to Python, which are like variables, if condition, else condition, the operators, the input, the data types, the for loop, nested for loops. So in today's session, we will be covering another topic which is related to how exactly you can break the statement, how you can come out of your for loop, how you can continue your for loop, and if you really need to write something inside the for loop or not. So these things we will be discussing in today's video. And if you like the video, do hit the like button, subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends so that it reaches the wider audience and everyone can learn Python. So let's get started with today's topic, that is the loops, break, continue and pass. Okay, so we have different types how we can come out of the loop. So the first thing that we will be discussing is this particular break statement. So when exactly we need to stop the loop, that is determined by break statement. Then we will see how we can skip a particular piece of code with the help of the continue. Then we will see when exactly to pass that piece of code and execute the rest, right? So these three particular things we are going to discuss today in our today's session. So let's get started with that. So first thing that we have is the break. So if you think about in normal terms, if you are actually running a car, right, and you put a brake, means it's an emergency exit, means you are emergency putting a brake so that you don't hit a car which is behind you or before you, right? So that is a brake basically. So what you need to do is you need to brake your particular car in order to avoid any incident. So that's what is the use case in the for loops as well. So loops will continue to go on till it meets the last item. But if in case you don't want to meet a last item and you meet a condition, let's say you want to find a number 2 from a particular list, and once you have that number 2, you don't want to go ahead and see the other elements because you already found that number 2, right? So you want to come out of that loop, and that's what is the break condition. You just break the loop and come out of the loop. So it actually stops the loop immediately and it jumps out and ends the loop right away. It will jump out of the loop and it will end the loop. Now, for example, I will start the loop from here. Okay, so this is my starting point. Now, it will check whether my last item it has reached. If in case my last item it has not reached, it will check for I equal to 2. So let's say I have a list of 1, 2 and 3. So it will check for I equal to 2. So let's say if in case in the first iteration, I is not equal to 2, right? So it will run the code. Okay. In the next iteration, it actually goes ahead and finds I equal to 2. So it is a true condition. So it breaks out of the loop and it comes here, right? So here, what it does here it actually goes and checks again and again, right? So this is my loop condition. If you will see, this is my loop, right? If in case the condition is satisfied, it will come out of the loop. And now in this case, so that is where exactly this break is useful, because in this case I don't want the 3 output. So in this case I will just have 1 and 2 in my print statement. So let's say if I'm doing a print of I, what it is going to print? It's going to print me only 1 and 2. It's not going to print me the number 3. So how exactly it's written? It's written this for I in 1, 2, 3. If I meet this condition, if this particular condition is satisfied, then it goes to this particular statement, that is break. So it doesn't go back and checks the other conditions. It breaks out of the loop and goes ahead and print and come out of it. So there are 3 conditions here. It will check for 1, it will check for 2. Now it matches, it goes, it doesn't return back, It goes and come out of the loop. So that's what is my break statement. Now let's see what is a continue statement. So continue statement means if you are actually going in a steady speed and there is no blocker, right? Then you continue it. So what it means, it will continue the loop and it skips one loop cycle without actually stopping the loop. Let's say this I equal to 2, it meets I equal to 2. It will not come out of the loop, but it will continue to check the other elements and it is going to print, but it is not going to print this 2. It will come, continue, and it will come and continue here. So what it means, for the first iteration, it will check if I is equal to 2, no. So it prints. Then it checks I equal to 2, yes. Then it continue. It means it doesn't go ahead and do this particular print statement. It goes back and again checks for 3 and then it again continue. So it continues the loop. It doesn't break out of the loop, but for the statement, the conditional statement that you provide for that particular element, it doesn't come in the print statement. So therefore we have an output 1 comma 3. So if you will see here, it starts, it checks, and if in case it is true, then it continues back to the loop, right? And if in case it is false, it prints the code. So that's how exactly is the continue statement means. Now, in case of pass, when do we use pass? Pass is only used, it's like a placeholder when you don't want to do anything with the for loop, right? So it's a placeholder where nothing happens. For now, we are just like keeping that for loop, but we are not doing anything. That's what it means about the pass. So how we write inside the if statement, we write a pass, okay, and then we have this particular print statement. Now if in case it checks, if in case it's false, it prints. If in case it's true, it passes and it goes back to the loop, right, till we meet the last element. So now let's go back and let's see this in action. So what I will do is, for I in range 1 comma 3, again I will do print. Let's say I'll just do print I, okay, just to show what exactly it prints. It prints 1 and 2. Let me make this 0 so that it prints 3 elements, 0, 1 and 2. Now what I need is, I will check if I is equal to 2, or let's say I is equal to 2, right? Then it is going to break. So what I will do is, let me increase this portion so that you understand. So if I is equal to 2, it's going to break and it's not going to this particular statement. It's coming out of the loop. So I'll write here print the loop has ended, or loop has ended. So you see it printed 0 and 1. When it encountered 2, it came out of the loop and it did not print the other elements. So what elements we have? We have 0, 1, 2 and 3 in this particular range, right? So it actually printed 0 and 1, but it did not print 2, because once it comes in this condition, it breaks and it doesn't go back to this particular statement. It actually exits the loop. Now let's say if in case of continue, what happens? So in case of continue, if I execute this, you see it printed 0 and 1, but as soon as it reaches 2, it says, okay, I have 2. Let me continue the loop, but I'm not going to do anything with this for this particular element. So it doesn't print this. From this particular continue statement, it goes to this particular statement for loop. So from 76 line, it goes to 74 line, and then it executes for 3. Then it checks, okay, 3 is not equal to 2, so I can print I. Okay, that's how the print statement works here for continue. Now let's say if in case I want to do a pass means it will not do anything. It is going to print everything, 0, 1 and 2 and 3. So in this pass, it's something like if you don't know anything what to do in that case, you do a pass statement in that, right? So that's the use case of pass. So let's say if I just comment these things and I will change my indentation and I will show you. So it has for loop, but if you don't write this pass, okay, and you execute, what does it say? It says print indentation error expected an indented block after for. So inside for, it expects something. You need to write something, then only it is going to print. And after this, it is actually expecting like this, the print statement here after an indentation. Inside the for loop, it's expecting to write something, but we don't want something, right? We don't know what we will be doing inside the for loop, let's say. Then we are putting the pass. So if you do a pass, it means it will not executing anything here, and it comes to this and says loop has ended. Okay, now the next thing that we will go ahead and see how we can implement this in our real-time scenario, like where we will use the break, where we will use the continue, where we will use the pass statement. Okay, so let me see if I have a name. I will have some name. Let's say name is Shilpa, Alex, and I don't have a name here, and Jordan. Okay, these are my names. Now what I want to do is I want to iterate through each element. For I in name, I want to print I, let's say. Okay, so it's going to print everything. Now if you will see, let me put it here, name of person is I. Okay, so you will see name of person is Shilpa, Alex, and there is no name of person here, it's blank, and Jordan. So now in this case, there is a missing element in the name list, right? So I don't want, if in case there's no element, I want to actually come out of the loop and I don't want to proceed because that's an error record that I have in the name. So what I will do is in this, I will say if I is equal to blank, then I want to break the loop. Okay, and instead of print statement here, what I will do is I will print here. Okay, so what it means is it will check for the first name. Okay, Shilpa. Okay, Shilpa is not equal to blank space, so it's going to print. Then Alex, okay, it's not there, so it's going to print. Now it encounters an empty string, so it is empty string, so it's not going to print it and it will break out of the loop. So the output will have Shilpa and Alex. See, Shilpa and Alex. So as soon as it matches this condition, it breaks, so it doesn't go to this line anymore and it comes out of the loop. Now let's say if I want to do a continue, I just don't want to go ahead and execute anything which is having an empty string because that's a null value, but I want to go ahead and enter all my records into a table which is having some name, right? But I want to eliminate the ones which are having the empty string. So what I can do is I can use the continue statement. So if it will check, okay, it has a null, so let me skip that null and I will again go back and check the other elements in the loop and I will do a print for that. So all the elements are there except my empty string that I have. Now let's say if I do a pass, it's not going to do anything. It's going to print everything because if this is something there, then I don't want to do anything. If statement, right? So this pass can be applicable to if, it can also be applicable to the loops, right? So that's how exactly the break, continue, and the pass works. Now let's see another example. In case of, let's say, an ATM withdrawal, okay, if I take an example of ATM withdrawal. in case of ATM withdrawal, you always have a 3 attempts, right? And if in case there is a 3 attempts, then you don't allow it to run again. So let's go ahead and create a scenario in which I just want to execute it for 3 times. And if it's more than 3 times, I don't want to continue. I will give a message that the transaction attempt. So what we will do in order to solve this particular piece of problem is, I will use a variable called attempts. Okay, I want to iterate and increase the count of the attempts. If it is 3, then I don't want any more attempt, right? So I will use a while loop here. So while the attempt is less than 3, I want to enter the pin. If it is equal to 3, I need to stop it. So I will be providing a pin. It says input enter a pin. So this is a user input. Now, once it gives a pin, then I'm going ahead and doing a counter and increasing the count of attempt to +1. Now, if the pin is 1, 2, 3, 4, so basically from the database, what I'm checking is my pin is 1, 2, 3, 4. And if the pin is actually matching, then I'm printing access is granted. Okay. And if in case it matches, then I don't have to go ahead and ask the user again to input the pin, right? So I have to come out of the loop. Exit the loop when the pin is correct, right? When the pin is correct, you have to exit out of the loop. You don't have to keep on asking the user, enter the pin, and enter the pin. But if in case the pin doesn't match here, right, then it doesn't execute this piece of code. It goes ahead and check this. If attempt is less than 3, right, it is going to continue. It means the pin doesn't match, but I already have some attempts left. So it was going to continue. It's going to skip that and it's going to continue. Then again, it's doing an attempt +1, right? So it has the attempt 2 now. Again, it checks, okay, it doesn't. Then it is less than 3. Okay, again, it continues and it again comes here. So if in case it is less than 3, it works. But if in case it becomes equal to 3, it comes out of the loop. So if I run this particular piece of code, it says enter the pin. Okay, I will enter the pin. It says it matches. If pin is 1, 2, 3, 4, no, it doesn't match, right? So it has encountered an attempt. Now if I again do 1, 2 and hit enter, okay, it is not correct. So again, if I put 1, 2, see, 3 attempts it will give you. After the third attempt, it is not going to give you. So what I can also show you here is I can put a print statement of number of attempts. Okay, so let me put 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's not correct. Again 1, 2, 3, not correct. Again 1, 2, 3, it's not correct. So it says it is not correct, but it says the number of attempts is 3. You have already done. So it is going to break out and all the attempts are exhausted. Okay, now let me run this file and give 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, now I'll give you 1, 2, 3, 4. So access is granted. Now in the first attempt itself, if I give 1, 2, 3, 4, then the access should be granted, right? It comes and breaks out of the loop. It doesn't ask you 3 times here because the pin is correct. So that's how is a use case of how exactly you can do a looping and in which you can have a break statement and a continue statement. I would highly recommend you guys to solve the question by your own so that you understand how these things work, right? And if you do like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends as well. And do watch the complete playlist in order to learn the complete Python. Till the next video, stay tuned.
Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you have a good day.